Hello everyone, this is Amber with Georgia Papercrafts, and today I am making 10 cards using Doodlebug's Pumpkin Party 6x6 paper pad and the Chit Chat, which has 117 die cut pieces of various words and sayings, along with the odds and ends, which also has 117 die cuts pieces of different things, characters. And then I have some of the Doodle-Pops that I'll also be using that I purchased. Now, I have had this set for a while. I believe it came out last year, but I haven't done anything with it yet. I know I hadn't used the paper pads, so I am going to make 10 cards from it. Now, in the paper pad, they do have cut aparts here, you can see, and they also have the sentiment banners. Let's see where it is. I saw it earlier. I took one out and cut it apart. Here's some smaller ones too. I'm not sure I'll use those. I already cut apart these to use. Oh, here they are. Here's the sentiment banners, and I cut all of this apart. And so I have these right here and ready to go to use on my cards if I choose to use them. And I also cut apart the cut aparts from the 6x6 paper pad here. But I didn't realize I had previously bought a 12x12 sheet with the cut aparts. And so these are the very same ones. They're just bigger. They're 4x3, I believe, whereas these are like 2x2, or two and a half. Sorry, I'm just 2 by 1.5, 2 by 1.5 actually. And this is, yeah, 3 by 4, 4 by 3. That's what I thought. So these are a little bit bigger, but they're the very same ones and have the same sentiments. I anticipate I'll use some of these, not all of them, but I'll probably also use these. So, all right, let's get to it. Before I get started, I wanted to let you know that I actually was able to make 16 cards using this paper pad and the Chit Chat pieces and odds and ends. So here we go with card number 1. I decided to do one of my favorite techniques, which is take a bunch of pieces of pattern paper or scrap paper, but these are a lot of the cut aparts that I did, plus some other small pieces, and just kind of line them up on a piece of paper to form a pattern, or just to make my own little pattern paper. So that's what I'm doing here. I took a piece of gray cardstock and I covered that with some adhesive, and as you can see here, I'm just kind of fitting different pieces on to cover it up. Then I'm going to cut off all the excess. Once I do this, this is a fun part because I get to see what I'm left with. And isn't that cute? I love the way that turns out. And actually, I had so much left over that I decided I would make another one of these. So I didn't show that on screen. And this is the one that I did not show me doing. But I did exactly the same thing. So here I'm adding it to a piece of purple cardstock from my stash and attaching this to a pre-made A2 sides card base. Now all my card bases are, again, white pre-made card bases that I made before I got started. And now I'm attaching a cute little banner from the odds and ends set. This says too cute to spook. And I attached that up on the top. And then I'm taking the character that is a tiger in a tiger costume, putting some foam adhesive on the back. I'm going to pop that up. Then I'm going to bring in some of these Doodle-Pops. These are little lanterns And I'm going to have one holding, one of the little boys holding one of these lanterns. For an additional embellishment, I'm just going to adhere some of the stars. And of course I have to do a little finishing touches with darkening the eyes with my black Jelly Roll pen and putting some white on the cheeks. That's it for number one. So the second one is exactly the same, just different sayings on the banner, and the character, or the little girl, is wearing a cat suit. So again, I matted this with a purple piece of paper, and obviously it's a little bit too long for my card, so trim that off. Gonna adhere the banner using some double-sided adhesive. This banner says trick or treat, and I had matted that onto the same purple cardstock just to try to help keep it all symmetrical looking. I'm going to pop up this character, put her on the front, and then she gets to hold a lantern also. I'll add a few of the stars. Do the finishing touches. And that's it. Card 2 is done. Very simple, but I think it packs a punch. Alright, for card 3 here, I took a bunch of the pieces of that came in the odds and ends. These are like little banners, you know, different colored ones, and I'm just putting them around here and kind of trying to make my own little pattern. And this is on a piece of orange cardstock from my stash. Cutting off the excess here. I'm going to mat that onto a black piece of cardstock. And I'm going to use this big sentiment that says trick or treat. And I'm thinking I needed to mat it on a black piece of cardstock to make it stand out a little bit more, otherwise it kind of got lost. So I did that, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. I'm going to adhere it with some foam tape. Put that right in the center. And then I'm going to add these 2 sentiment strips on the bottom. This is after I'd adhere it to the card base. These are strips from the pack, and I matted them on some black cardstock also. It says trick or treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat. Something we all used to say as kids. Again, a little bit of black. These are pearl drops. Just put a few around. And that's it. Oh, sorry, I thought it was it. I guess I'm going to go over the trick or treat with my Nouveau shimmer pen. Cute. Moving on to card number 4, I'm going to take a piece of black cardstock, and I'm going to mat this pattern paper onto it. Not mat it, but put a piece of pattern paper. It's hard to see in the picture, but it actually has some trees and kind of a creepy looking scene. Just trying to get this straight on there. I don't know why I'm having such trouble there. I'm going to put some shimmer orange tape on the sides. This is just something from my stash. And I decided to go ahead and do, this is a white glitter. Put that on the side of it also. Just gonna try to keep those ends adhered down with some washi tape. I'm going to bring in these vellum, well, not really vellum, they're more like acetate pieces that came in the odds and ends. And so it's an acetate piece of, it's a squeaky gate, not a gate, but a fence. And then the ghosts are also this acetate. So what I'm going to do is first adhere this spooky tree. Trying to decide what kind of card base to put it on. I decide I'll go ahead and do it on an orange. Now this is a top folding card base. And as you see, I don't want to put regular adhesive on the back of this because you'd be able to see it through it. So I'm running it through my Xyron sticker maker to make them into stickers. Just gonna rub it real well with my bone folder there to try to get all that adhesive to stick. I'm going to adhere that down. I'm going to use these two clouds. And then I'm going to use a greeting that says ghostly greetings. Now this was a little bit too long. I didn't like how long the card base stuck out, so I just made it a little bit shorter. I'm going to pop the sentiment up with some foam adhesive. Bring in a little bit of that black pearl drops to accent the nose and the mouth on the tree. Then I'll bring in some orange stickles. And that's it for that card. Moving on to the next one. I really like the blue and the pop of all of the yellow, or excuse me, orange and purple. So I pulled in this little character here is, I guess, a superhero. So I wanted to bring in a blue backdrop. And so I matted that on a piece of black cardstock. And I'm going to add some little shiny tapes up there. So I've got some different color. It's like a light blue glitter, a dark blue glitter, and then there's a shiny glitter. And I just tried to make a little pattern on the top up there. And I'm going to take these two rectangle pieces of the pattern paper, and I'll mat them onto some black cardstock, and then just kind of fit them in a pattern that I thought looked good. A lot of times what I do is I will look at a card sketch and get some ideas. I usually never do exactly what's on the sketch, but sometimes I'll just look at it and say, yeah, I think I could do something like that, and then I'll kind of fit it to the way I like to do it. That's kind of how I do some of these cards. So a lot of these chit chats, they had like little speech bubbles, but a lot of times it didn't fit onto how I wanted it to fit onto the card, so I would cut that edge off with that little thing, making it a speech bubble, so I would just turn it into a circle. So that's what I did here with this. It says trick or treat, and I cut out a blue scallop circle that this fit in, and I matted that and put that on there. And then I also did find one of the chit chat saying that says yum, and I had him saying that. Just doing a couple of extra additional things to jazz him up. Alright, so on to this next one. As you can see, all of these are quite simple. I'm using all the pattern paper, just using some cardstock from my stash. This is the orange and black. Taking two rectangle, or square, excuse me, these are two square pieces of pattern paper. Matted them on some black cardstock, kind of putting them wonky onto the card base. And then I'm going to put this sentiment with the lanterns that says Happy Halloween. And again, this is matted onto some black cardstock. I'm going to put some foam tape on the back of that and add it to the card base. Use some of my stickles, orange stickles, along with some black stickles. Add a little bit of embellishment. And that's it for that card. Alright, now on to this cute little frog. This character, I guess, is dressed as a frog, or at least that's what it looks like to me. I don't know if it's supposed to be something else, but I decided to use the same kind of color, so I'm using green. I'm putting a black onto the green cardstock, and then using some of the pattern paper in a design that I thought would look nice. I like that striped black and white striped paper. I'm going to pop this guy up with some foam adhesive. And the sentiment, there's two sentiments there that I chose, say, give me some sugar, and eek. So again, I'm going to cut off that edge there so he's not actually saying it. It's just going to be a sentiment there. And I actually did that for both of them. I'm going to pop both of those up. Do the additional finishing touches on his eyes and cheeks. Use my plumber pen on his dots on the chest. Glue that to a pre-made card base. And that's it. So cute. These little characters are adorable. Alright, I'm moving on. Orange card base. Cut the pattern paper center, cut some pattern paper down there. Gonna mat it onto some orange card base. And adhere that to the orange card base. Gosh, I'm kind of all over the place. Sorry about that. Cut a scallop circle, and then of some solid orange cardstock, and then I also cut a circle of the pattern paper, and I adhered this sentiment strip that says Happy Halloween, and along the edge there I'm just adding that orange glitter tape. Again, this glitter tape is something I bought, I think, at Hobby Lobby, something very cheap. I add additional glue to it because it never seems to stick real well. It's supposed to be adhesive on the back, but it doesn't seem to stick real well. I'll put those two pieces together. And here that on the front. Bring in my Doodle-Pop. This is a little girl that's dressed as a pumpkin. Put her little pumpkin candy holder and all the other stuff around her. Alright, so this one is awesome. One of my favorites. Using some solid purple cardstock and matting that onto some black. I'm going to adhere that to the white card base. As you can see here, I've got two little girls, what I did was I'm separating them by this strip of pattern paper with all the candy on it, and I cut out 2 scalloped circles that are of the pattern paper that they're going to be matted on, and put each of those into the corner. And one of the girls is a princess, and the other is the same girl that we just saw, the one with the pumpkin, dressed as a pumpkin. And then just go ahead and adhere them straight down onto that scallop circle. And one of them's going to be saying, "Hey, ghoul friend," and the other one's going to be saying, "I have a sweet tooth." I thought that was cute. And I'm going to add some additional things, some additional candy there. Put a little bit of the shimmer pen on the candy and her crown. Darken the eyes, some white on the cheeks. You decide to bring in some stickles. I believe these are diamond stickles. And I'm going to put that on the crown and also on the candy. Oh, and her belt and her earrings there. And that's it for that one. So this one, similar to the last one where I used the scallop circle die, cut a inner piece out of pattern paper. Here I'm adhering a piece of orange cardstock to a piece of purple, matting that onto the card base, and here I'm using the Wolfman, and I'm using the sentiment that says, "Eat, drink, and be hairy." Matting that onto some purple cardstock. And pop the sentiment up with some foam adhesive along with the character. Add some additional candy around the seam. Just going to adhere it straight onto the card stock. My usual darkening of eyes. Use a little bit of white onto his teeth there. He has a couple fangs. And his cheeks. Did decide to bring in some stickles for the candy. Do a little bit on the candy, just to give it a little bit of bling. That finishes off that card. Alright, now moving on to my pumpkin one. So I'm taking some pieces, these are the cut apart banners, and just kind of adding 3 of them across the piece of this pattern paper and cutting off the excess. And adhere this to a orange card base, or not card base, mat it with an orange piece of cardstock and mat it to, excuse me, and then glue it onto a white card base. Use the cut apart sentiment. This is the 4x3 one that I had. So it says cutest pumpkin in the patch. And then I pulled out 2 of the odds and ends, and these are two of the pumpkins, and I'm just trying to figure out which way to put them. As you can see, they're so big that they'll cover up the three that are on the original cut apart. Darken up their eyes and their mouth. Use my shimmer pen on the leaves and stems. And that's it for that one. Nice and simple. Okay, this one is cute. I really like this one because I like this cut apart that has the three trick-or-treaters. So I cut up this orange and white striped paper, matted it to a black card base, put another piece of pattern paper across the back, in the middle, and then I'm going to go ahead and mat all of this to a card base. The cut apart I did mat on a piece of black cardstock, and this says trick or treat, sweet, or smell my feet. It says trick or treat, smell my feet. Then I added two of the spider cut aparts, not cut aparts, but the die cuts. And then I have all these eyeballs from years past. You can see I've had them forever. And so I'm just kind of pulling some out and adding them onto the spider and then onto the little boy there. You could tell me see that I was kind of uncertain about how I really liked the one on the upper right hand corner on the spider. The eyes are a little bit too big, but I decided to leave it and go with it. Kind of adds to the funky feel. Okay, so this one I am taking two pieces of pattern paper, matting it to black cardstock, and take a piece of orange paper in a rectangle and mat that to black cardstock. Taking some more of the cut aparts here and just going to make a little scene. More of the lights with the lanterns. And actually I thought I would use that square piece or rectangle piece, but I wind up not using it. I just didn't think it fit. Here I'm just placing all my lanterns, looking for the banner, what I want to use. I'm going to start adhering everything. And that little sentiment says got candy, and I'm going to let that initially I was going to leave it, but then I decided no, let me cut off that little speech arrow, and not really an arrow, whatever it's called, speech thing. And here I'm going to adhere the sentiment Happy Halloween. Cut off all the excess on this and adhere that. I'm going to bring in some of these stickers. These are little spider stickers. Again, I've had that for a while. And that's it. Alright, now moving on to the next one. Same kind of pattern and style that I've been doing previously. Matting a piece of orange cardstock onto a piece of black cardstock, taking some pattern paper in circle and a rectangle, just kind of figuring out a way to put it onto the paper, using that black scalloped circle, pulling out the Doodle-Pop, the little girl with the dressed as a kitten or a cat, and pulling the sentiment that says have a perfect Halloween. putting all the other stars and stuff around, adhering this to a white card base. And that card's done. It's amazing how quick that came together. So cute. These Doodle-Pops really make it easy. Alright, so here I'm using gray cardstock, black cardstock. I'm going to put a piece of the pattern paper and put some blue sparkle, not really sparkle, but kind of holographic, blue holographic tape here along the sides. Get that adhered. I'm going to use the little boy here that is I guess he's a zombie. I'm not quite sure what he is. But he's a monster or something. I'm going to use this pattern paper with the white and black stripes. Get that all adhered to the white card base. Pop my little character up using foam adhesive. I'll do that in just a minute. And of course, I cut off the speech bubble part of that. I can't remember what this sentiment says. I have to wait till I turn it over here. A haunting we will go. Very cute. Alright, gonna adhere a spider there along with a star, blue star, and a green star. Decided to bring in some more of those eyes to put on the little monster head, and also onto the spider. There we go. A little white on his cheeks. And that's it. So cute. Alright, and here's another one. Typical orange onto black cardstock. Piece of pattern paper matted with some black. Another one. 2 rectangles, just making a pattern there. Cutting off the excess. Adhering everything together. Cut a part there of the little girl, witch girl. I'm going to use that. I've already matted that onto a piece of black cardstock. Going to adhere that down. It says, "I put a spell on you." I used one of the die cuts of the same girl. She fit right over it, so I just kind of popped her on there using some of the stars around it, giving her the finishing touches. A little shimmer onto her wand and the stars. Black onto the hat. Obstacle. Little diamond shimmer onto her wand. Again, that's some of the diamond stickles. And that's that. Wow, we went through 16 cards. Can you believe it? These were so easy to make. Let me tell you, Doodlebug makes the best sets. So I hope you enjoyed watching me make these 16 cards. Again, this set is from previous years, so I believe it's still available on multiple, stores, but this is not the current year Doodlebug pattern paper, but I decided to use it because I had it in my stash. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me and sticking with me for this, and if you like it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button to see more videos from Georgia Papercrafts. Thank you so much.